Okay, so the next one is people that are fighting or disagree, and we stress the idea of a sign language or some sort of verbal code word. Do you remember anybody that strikes your attention?
What are you talking about?
The woman didn't want to and he wanted to, something like that.
No, can't think of it.
You suck.
I have to think of an example from me a second.
Okay, so I
know that.
Okay.
Why is your phone making all that noise?
Pause for a minute and then say it.
I have a great example. We were in a club. I have a great example. We were in a club, and this girl, she was obviously fighting with her boyfriend, and she was letting this guy, she and the guy were having sex, and she just like blew him off, and he was so mad because she hooked up. She was pretty, and so she hooked up about herself, and she was just, there was something that was like so unique about it. You couldn't stop but stare, because like she was like having sex with this guy, and yet she was having an argument with he was like kind of basically showing how frustrated he was. And I said to my husband later, I said to Ryan, well, what's she supposed to do? Just stop the guy mid-sex and just say, my husband's not happy with that I'm fucking you right now? It was really fun.
Talk about a hard way to have intercourse.
Hard way to have it.
How to keep that up while you're doing that. Oh my goodness.
Especially when you're a third party not involved in their argument.
Yeah, and I think the thing was that the wife of the guy didn't want to do it with him, and he was angry about it, if I remember right. That's funny. I actually had an experience where I was sitting in a hot tub with my wife, and I was watching the body language of these people, and they turned out to be brother and sister. And I've met people that were divorced and they were still swinging together because they liked the swinging lifestyle, but they didn't want to do it as singles, so they would hook up. But this couple, their body language wasn't right, and their stories weren't right. And so I said, "You're brother and sister, aren't you?" And they said, "Yeah, how could you tell?" And it was just like the story wasn't, what you were seeing didn't really kind of match what it was painted to be. It was funny. I knew this guy. He was really smart. He was in his 60s, and he would sit there. I was talking to him. He'd sit there, and I could see his head, like he was looking at people. And he was in this club, and he was figuring out who was going to hook up with who by their body language and how they were treating, like looking at each other and stuff. And his wife said, she was gorgeous, but she said, yeah, he figures out pretty much. It's like a chess game to him. He doesn't play chess anymore. He just watches people hook up and figures out who's going to do who. It was funny. Anyway, that's kind of our story about people. Oh, there have been arguments. I've seen arguments in clubs where the husband and wife are arguing. The wife didn't want to, or the husband didn't want to, and her case was the husband was mad about it, and so that happens. And to a certain extent, it's kind of normal because sometimes people get a feeling of jealousy when it's going on that they've never experienced before, so they don't know how to deal with it. So that's sort of that story. Do you have anything else?
Those are some good examples, so nothing else.